I'm just going to segue right into a grown-ass man with some bullshit-ass, relationship-ass views that he fucking wants.
I wish I could defend this nigga.
Listen.
I want to defend Mello and all those guys with this.
Now I'm talking about Meek Mill. Scream Man, how old is Meek Mill?
He's 34.
Oh my God, he's 34.
And you know why Bridget knows that? It's because every time something comes up with this nigga, we ask, yo, how old is Meek Mill?
How old is Meek Mill?
34.
Yo, Meek Mill posted something to his story, and I'm bringing this up because we're talking about dating, we're talking about relationships, we're talking about expectations, we're talking about all these things, especially as it pertains to an age gap, right? 34 motherfucking year old Meek motherfucking Mill took to his story, okay? And let us all know what he wants in a relationship, okay? Let me read this real quick. Meek Mill says, I don't want a relationship with anyone right now.
Well, by the way, we have to be very clear. He's quoting Justin LeBoy's.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
No, I know, but it's not a direct quote from him. He's reposting somebody else's toxic shit.
As in, he wants to be this toxic at 34 years old. He said, I don't want a relationship with anyone right now, but I want a date. I want a consistent person to talk to. I want you on me, but not too much, where you keep asking where I'm at. And I don't want you feeling, and I don't want you telling me what to do, but I want us to have fun. But I don't want you to talk to anyone else, though.
That sounds like
majority
of these guys.
Not at 34 though. At 34, I hope I'm a little bit more refined than that. Just a little bit.
I don't know.
I ain't gonna hold you. I can think of niggas right now.
I can think of a couple right now that's in their 30s that's still on this type of time. And here's the thing, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
You don't?
I really don't.
Oh, girl, stop.
I don't.
Stop.
I'm saying I don't think there's anything wrong with this because I know women who operate the same way. And I think if this is what you want, fine. You're not gonna get this with somebody not talking to somebody else, though. You're not. You're just not. You're not gonna get that. That's not gonna happen. But I know women who want to have fun, who are cool with wanting to come and go and move and shake and be able to travel with whatever. Yes, I know women that want to do that. But that whole I don't want you talking to nobody else. No,
that's the crazy part, bro.
See, I think it's the optics behind who the
messenger
is.
The last line. The last line ain't it. But the rest of it, I understand.
It's also who's the messenger, because I don't know if y'all remember, but Drake said something like this on his Rap Radar interview where he was like, look, I'm not with nobody. I need somebody to fit into my life, my schedule, like to be a puzzle piece in my master puzzle. Yeah. And it's a little bit different delivery, but I think it's the messenger in this case. I think it's the messenger in this case.
It's that last line for me, but I don't want you talking to anyone else though. You out of your fucking mind.
But that's the thing. But a lot of people date that way. They date with zero intention, but want you to have all the availability and access to.
And that's my point.
And that's some bullshit.
That's my point.
Like, you're dating with no intention, but yet you also want to block me from any of the blessings that another man could bring.
I think Meek was trying to be funny. Now that I see Justin LeBoy's name, I don't think he's serious. I'm not going to put that on Meek. Nah, I think he knew it would get a reaction. He knew it would get a laugh.
You must not see his tweets. He has tweeted similar things to this.
He's on this type of time.
He's on this type of time.
Don't fuck up dreams and nightmares for me, man. Fam, I don't think Meek is, I'm not going to do that to my guy, man.
No, you're not?
I'm not. I can't. It's Justin LeBoy. And that's another conversation. That's a bigger conversation about his influence and the shit he's spewing.
It's awful.
It's insane. It's insane how impactful that has been in this last year and a half.
Shout out to him for like carving that kind of lane. But I don't rock with most of the shit that he kind of promotes.
Well, I think that's what's fucking us up.
He literally said
in our dating. Look,
I'm sorry. Meek Mill just had tweeted a couple days ago, I never met a demon chick that was worth it. She's the one that signed here.
Alex,
she's the one that signed. She's the one that signed on the dotted line. Like, she's the one. Demon chicks on demon time are the ones that are like, no problem. Heard you, bro. You don't want me on you? No problem. I'm gonna be on you Wednesday, and then Thursday I'm out to Cabo with this next dude. Bye.
But going back to never recovering.
Right.
We saw when he was with Nicki and might like what that did to him. Maybe he never recovered.
Has anybody broken your heart and you never recovered?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I've been fucked up for about a decade now.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
I'm trying to work through it. It's therapy, but when I see shit like this, it's motivation to kind of get out of that. But yeah, hell yeah. That's a real thing what you said.
Yeah. Because I know
why.
And then we just start fucking everything and then we try to conform.
They will literally even talking to my man, he'll like if something triggers him from his past shit, he'll be like, yeah, and then blah 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 happened, and then this, and I'm like, oh, so that's still that really hurts you still.
I mean,
and friends of mine, same thing. I have a friend who literally is still to this day is broken up over something that happened in high school with a girl. And I'm like,
Why do we put ourselves through this shit?
how?
Like, why? So, and you know what? Y'all, look, taking it back to Twitter, I found another thread this week.
Okay.
And it was actually
Back
talking
to the
about
tweets.
this, kind of talking about breakups and heartbreak.
Okay.
But it was an amazing thread, by the way. It has almost 400,000 likes. But it says that I cannot believe I'm this devastated after an 8-month breakup. What do people who get divorced after 20 years of marriage do? Die, I presume. Someone else said, you die, come back to life, die again over and over until one day when you stop dying with less frequency. Even then, after some years, something will happen and you catch yourself dying again. It stays with you and you just learn to live with it. Someone said that we also should, and this is the conversation I want to have with you, someone said we should actually normalize the feeling of dying when we separate from someone we love, because that's exactly how it feels when we break up.
Well, yeah, it's grief. Grief essentially is love having no place to go.
And that's the thing. I just had a conversation on my other podcast about that being almost one of those emotions that we'd never learn how to deal with.
Never.
Grief is something that you can't even really, you can't prescribe anything for.
Right.
Grief is something that you really can't even talk out because it comes in little spurts and it will always be there with you.
Yep.
And so this idea of even relationships that we are so excited to keep hopping in and out of these relationships that literally attach grief at each point. Now we're just living with grief. And clearly your ass, you said a whole decade worth of grief.
So grief, I wasn't grieving for a decade, but I had the effects for the entire decade I have the longest been. So grief for me, like, I shut down. And it fucks up my work. And y'all know I work 24/7. I'm on top of it, emails, whatever the case may be. If something gets involved or in the way of that, it's hard for me to accept taking on that challenge.
Right.
But that's just me. Like you said, grief looks different on everybody.
That's
the way you grieve isn't necessarily the same way that I do. You might go out, turn up, drink, party, be with your friends all the time. I might be a reclusive. And now I just want to sit back and I don't really want to answer that email today. And you know what? Damn, I see my mom calling, but yeah, she'll be there. And then you just start going into this mindset of just taking everything and everybody for granted because you're grieving. I know me.
Yeah.
So when you do grieve, you got to understand what it is that you do when you do grieve. And if it's going to fuck you up, like a relationship for me, right? If it doesn't go well, it will take my focus and my energy away from what I'm trying to build in my professional life. And as an entrepreneur, as somebody who, like, I have to eat what I kill.
That's expensive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't afford it.
It's expensive, right?
But when I meet somebody, it's hard for me to just kind of say, hey, look, this is how I am if this shit doesn't work out. So I'm not really going to feel it. I just kind of got to maneuver my own way.
I think
So
that's a
grief looks
man. I
different.
do think that's a man thing.
I think so too.
I think that's a man. Which
Absolutely.
and it's not a criticism of like, damn, there's something wrong with you. But I do think that women.
There might be.
I mean,
And I'll take
no,
that.
I don't. But I don't think so. Like we talked. I mean, even on our Patreon episode, we talked about the fact that there's very little room for men to openly express their feelings in the moment that they're feeling them. Right? We oftentimes will make space for it when a reaction happens or a response to something else is triggering for you, and then it's like, oh shit, why are you so upset?
Yeah.
It's like, well, actually, bitch, let me go down a list of things that you've ignored this whole time.